Hello, hello! It's your girl Lucy B here, and we're back with another video. So I can't tell you how many times I've gotten this question. Hey Lucy, how did you get your VR chat model working with VTubing? Well, to tell you the truth, for many years I had no idea how to do it. I had hired somebody on a commission website. She did a very wonderful job on my first model, and I had no idea how to do it. But a couple of weeks ago, I came across this amazing tool that shows you exactly how to do it with a couple of clicks. I had tried so many times in the past for hours and hours and hours to try to convert to VRM. I've tried VRoid models. I've tried everything to try and get it to work. But this tool solves all of my problems, and I hope it'll solve all of your problems too. So in today's video, we're going to go over exactly how to port your VRChat model to work with Warudo. Keep in mind that this only works for Warudo. It does not work for VC Face or VTube Studio. It works for Warudo only. With that being said, I can't wait to tell you about this amazing tool, and let's get started. So first off today, I've been working on this model as an example. We have a little minty-haired chocolate model here. I've been calling it Mint Chocolate. She has a couple outfits. I'll show you how she works in a minute, but first let's talk about the tool. So I want to introduce you to Pumpkin. They made a wonderful post on Twitter a couple of weeks ago, essentially stating that they had created a tool to convert seamlessly from VRChat to Warudo in just a couple of clicks. I was amazed and I thought, hey, I need to update my VTuber model. So let's go ahead and check it out. So I did, and I'm super happy that I did. The only way to obtain the tool would be to add them on Patreon. It's $10 a month. Feel free to support them and all that they do. I'll go ahead and link it in the description, but it's essentially called the Warudo Exporter by Pumpkin. There's different versions here that you can download once you are a Patreon member. Always download the latest one. I believe the latest one included support for VRC Fury, when before it only had support for modular avatar. But yeah, go ahead, support Pumpkin. They're awesome, and download the latest exporter here. Once that's downloaded to your computer, go ahead and jump into Unity. So let me show you a little bit about how this model works. All right, so here's the chocolate model. As you can see, we have a couple of outfits here. We can toggle the headset on and off, the face band-aid on and off, the jacket on and off, and the outfit on and off. Go ahead and put the other outfit on. We also have this street chic outfit as well. So jacket on and off. And then she also has some face band-aids too, which I think are cute. And then she has a couple of different hairs too. So we have this twin tail here and this bob hairstyle here. You're going to want to always create a backup of your project. What I like to do is duplicate the one that I've been working on. So this one works with VRChat, so I'm just going to rename it Minty Chocolate Fox VRChat. And then we'll rename this one Minty Chocolate Fox Warudo. Perfect. Okay. And we'll turn the VRChat one off. And then we're going to be working on this Warudo one right here. But before we do anything, go ahead and create a backup of this project. So go to Assets, Export Package. It will take a little bit because it has to collect all of the information in your project. And then export your project here. When you hit the export button, a folder should come up to where you'd like to save it. I'm just going to save it to the desktop, and I'll do Minty Chocolate Backup. And so now if anything breaks in the project, you do have a backup and all of your work is not lost. So export that. This will take a moment depending on how big your project is. All right, perfect. A folder should pop up in your file location showing that you saved the project as a backup. Now you're good to go. Let's get started with the process. Now, the first thing you want to do is make sure that you get that Warudo exporter into your project down here. So let me find it in my downloads folder on my computer. I'll get out of play mode first. Click and drag it right into your project here. Import that. If you get this little error here, just click yes. Sometimes you won't need to click that, but sometimes that error will pop up. All right, now that it's in our project, we have a couple of steps we need to do to our avatar in order to make sure that it functions properly in the Warudo program. What I like to do is make sure that we show everything. We can always toggle them off in Warudo. However, it may look kind of weird with everything on top of each other. But trust me, this is the process on how you do it. So I'm going to turn on this outfit. I'm going to turn on this hair as well. And then let's see if there's anything that we have turned off. The glasses, we'll turn those on. The bandages for the other outfit, we'll turn those on too. So everything's kind of overlapping. I know it looks weird, but you can always toggle that off in Warudo. I'll show you how to do that in a second. So another thing I like to do is remove any VRC Fury components for the offered VRC Fury support. Sometimes this would mess things up during the import, so I just kind of have a habit of going through and removing all of the VRC Fury toggles. So I'm going to do that now. Remove that jacket, remove that. All right, one more here. Remove that component. Perfect, we are all set. All the VRC Fury components are removed, and all of the assets on her are shown. They're turned on here in the inspector. If something's not turned on here in the inspector, Warudo's not going to be able to recognize it, and you'll have a hard time finding it. The best practice is to turn everything on over here in the inspector that you'd like to export. Now let's get ready for the conversion. So up here, you'll see a little menu that says Pumpkin. Click on that, do the Warudo installer. Everyone say thank you, Pumpkin, in the comments down below. So as it says here, make sure to back up your project. We just did that, so it's very important because sometimes these things break. Once you've done that, hit the next button, and then just go through the installation wizard as you would to install anything else. Go on the next button, resolve the packages here. Sometimes you'll get a little red error here. It means you have to install a specific code onto your computer, GIT 2.501-64-bit. I'll go ahead and link that in the description so you have it in case you do get that error. So essentially it's a bit of source code that Windows needs to operate certain functions. I'm not going to get into the specifics about what that means, but you may need to install it onto your computer depending on your version of Windows and other things. I personally downloaded the code from SourceForge here. What I will do is link this in the description in case you need it. You just download the latest version and go through the installation process, and the correct code should be installed onto your computer. Sometimes that pops up here, just wanted to let you know. All right, go ahead and click Resolve Packages. That's good. Let's hit Next. And then we need to download the Warudo SDK. So start the download, and then begin the import. Import it. Now, this could take a minute. Just be patient with it. All right, if it was successful, you should see a little Warudo menu up here in your Unity. So we'll go Next, then we'll import the tools. Next. And all we need to do now is add the component. We're ready to convert. Perfect, we're done. So the next step is to create a mod. So let's go to the Warudo menu up here and click on New Mod. I'm just going to name it something that I can remember. Mint chocolate, and then we'll create it in the assets folder. Or you can hit this ellipsis here and pick where on your computer you would like to save it, and then create the mod. Perfect. So the mod should be in here in your assets folder. Now let's click on our avatar here. Scroll all the way down in the inspector, add component, and then do Pumpkin. Pumpkin's Warudo exporter. Click on that. This button here, Export Warudo Mod, this will be grayed out if you did not create a mod here. So make sure you're always creating a new mod first before you can export it. There are a couple of settings here. What you can do is open this up and use a little icon for it so it's easier to see in the menu. I don't think I'm going to put an icon for it right now, but you can snap a picture of it and put it here if it helps you. And then you can also put your name as the author and any description or versions that you may have. And then export. If you get this error, this has something to do with modular avatar. I'm not going to get into it, but just click Save. All right, perfect. So this is your Warudo file. A file explorer window should pop up on your computer, and that's the location of the file. I like to just drag it to my desktop so I know where it is. And we're good to go. Let's jump into Warudo and I'll show you the next steps. All right, hi, here we are in Warudo. If you don't have Warudo already, it's totally free on Steam. Download it and install it to your computer. So in the Warudo editor window, go ahead and go to the onboarding assistant. Now, this is a great place to start, especially if you're new. I'm kind of new at this as well. There are plenty of great tutorials out there on how to get started with Warudo and how to set up tracking and how to tweak the settings to make it look sort of the way that you would like to look personally. I'll link a really good tutorial that I learned with in the description below as well. But anyway, let's go to the basic setup. What you're going to want to do next is open your characters folder. Now, I have a ton in here already. from all the experimenting. Open up another file window and drag the Warudo file you saved to your desktop or wherever directly into the characters folder. Then you can select it here. All right, here we are in Warudo. Hello, hey. We have our chocolate working. So all we need to do is remove all of these meshes that we don't want to wear off of the avatar. That's super easy to do. We go to character 1 and then we click on meshes. So let's go through and turn off everything that we don't need. So I'd like to wear the catwalker outfit, but take the headphones off. So I'll take off everything but that. So this video is not going to go over how to set up your Warudo and how to get the tracking working. You can play around with the settings and see what works best for you. But if you want, I can link some tutorials in the description for you to take a look at. Your VRChat avatar is now in Warudo and you're good to go. Yay! Awesome! Alright, let's go back to my regular self. And there you go! You've done it! Congrats! Your avatar now successfully works with Warudo, and you can use it for streaming, VTubing, recording video, or anything else really. I hope this video helped you today. If you have any questions, feel free to join our Discord down below. We have an awesome community where we help each other out with avatar stuff all the time. If you have any converter-specific questions, I would contact the creator of the asset Pumpkin if you're having any technical difficulties there. All in all, this video should have taught you everything you need to know about how to convert to Warudo. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and you take care. Bye!